guys, welcome back to Dane Harden Martial Arts on YouTube. This is lesson 10. In lesson 8 and lesson 9, we introduced the idea of guard positions. In this lesson, we're going to talk about elbows, utilizing the elbow as a weapon. We're going to start off with just a little bit of an anatomical review of the elbow structure, and why it's such an effective weapon in martial arts.
In this section, we're going to take a look at the anatomy of the elbow. The elbow is a hinge joint, so there's a bony process that's called the olecranon process, which is the sharp bone protuberance that you're going to use whenever you do these strikes. There's medial and lateral epicondyles. If you've got golfers or tennis elbow, you're familiar with those. But the condylar surface and the ligamentous structure and tendinous structures are really very powerful within the elbow. Also in aikido, yonkyo, a fourth control, we attack the radial and or ulnar nerves. This is an x-ray of an elbow dislocation, certainly something you do not want. Here's some basics on elbow strikes. I assume my guard position, so I'm in a center guard, and you'll note that my hands are tucked and my elbows are in. I like to use the elbows in order to strike incoming snap kicks, roundhouse kicks, the ankle on a side kick. This is a demonstration of just squeezing in the elbows to kind of tighten your forward guard position. A lot of times this will give you a framework or structure. If someone's shooting, you can frame out with this position as you shoot to the rear in order to stop a takedown. This is simply what's called a vertical versus horizontal. I'm now throwing horizontal elbow strikes. Again, if we go back to our anatomy, I'm focusing on that olecranon, the sharp protuberance of the bone. Elbows can often be used to strike to the eye or just above the eye, the thin skin on the forehead, which allows me to cut the skin above the eye. That would allow then blood to bleed into the eye, and of course that's going to reduce vision in your opponent and or if you're attacked in a street environment. This is similar to a reverse punch, what we would call a reverse elbow, followed by a elbow with a scoop. This type of angular elbow strike and the scoop out back to your fighting posture is something I borrowed from Muay Thai. Again, this is striking upward elbow, so coming from the bottom up. Again, an oblique strike. So far we have horizontal, vertical, and oblique strikes. This is a jam where I'm moving straight in. I like to do this to the clavicle or to the bone on the shoulder. We do a cross step and rotate for our spinning elbow. I don't particularly like spinning elbows, but they are popular. On this, we're doing bag drills. So I'm just doing single strikes on the bag, trying to emphasize really getting the structure, hitting the proper part of the bone, the olecranon process, and understanding that I want to lead with my shoulder and lead with my hips. Next, we're just going to kind of add in some combos on this. A single strike. And now a double strike, flipping across and coming back. Followed by a triple strike, and we'll finish up with a quadruple strike. These are called elbow shadow drills, much like shadow boxing. I'm going to start slowly, and I'm going to go for about a minute. I'm just going to start working my weaving drills, covering my center of my throat, interlacing the hands, again, a Muay Thai exercise. And understand, this is Western Masters Taekwondo, so we blend other systems into our skill sets. And certainly, you can see the heavy influence from kickboxing and from Muay Thai. Hand wrapping drills such as this and elbow strikes are really, really essential that you learn how to do them properly.
I can be in this position, I can elbow strike here, which we call horizontal elbow strike. If I'm in this position, I'm coming up, I can strike vertically, I can go horizontal to angle down elbow strike, Notice what my hands are doing. That's an important, good habit to develop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we start to look at those critical angles. Horizontal, vertical, angular, angular, straight in strikes. I can also accept punches and do elbow strikes against the elbows. We'll do slowly, okay? So if Bruce is in his fighting stance, one of the first things that we taught you was chikomaki. So if Bruce is throwing jab and I chikomaki, this is really a modification of chikomaki, but notice that both of my hands are going with it. So when he shoots his jab, I'm here. I want to come on top and I'm throwing the elbow in this fashion. So if we do that at speed, 1, 2. Again, one more time, 1, 2. And one more time, 1, 2. I can add a hammer and anvil. I'll do this slowly. 1. Notice what this hand has done. I'm coming in on this side of Bruce's face at the same time, striking the back of his neck. What I would call a clamshell technique. When he punches, hit, boom, and I'm coming in striking this fashion. One more time, hit, boom, coming in and striking in that fashion. Okay?
No, I closed my eyes.
So next, what I want to work is instead of rolling on top, here as I'm doing, what if I roll here under? Now all of a sudden I'm striking from underneath, so I'm hitting him in the ribs. I can, from this position, come across, strike high, strike under, move out to close the door with my jab. So you're starting to get this impression you can utilize these elbows often. I'm going outside. What if I go inside? If he shoots at and block here, too big of a block. I've created this huge opening, go ahead and punch me. That's what he wants to do. I have to occupy that space. I'm here, 1, 2, coming straight in. If he pushes it out of the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all of a sudden I'm able to really shoot those elbow strikes from inside and utilize them pretty well. Importance later. In this position, I can come down and strike here, strike under. So elbow strikes are really useful. Let's switch positions so you guys can see from an open position. If he's here, I can come under with the elbow. If he's here, I can come on top with the elbow. If he's here and I go chikomaki style, I can come in with the elbow. If I do chikomaki style here, I can clamshell here, elbow and ridge at the same time. If he's here and I clamshell out, I can come into the elbow and utilize that as, you okay?
Yeah.
As a hyperextension on his elbow. Obviously.